everyone, it's Tracy from Temperance Tarot, and I am doing a walkthrough and review of the Revival Art Tarot cards by Taroko Studio. I have already torn the box, so I have taken the cards out of the box and I've put them into this box, which came with some oracle cards that I'm going to use in my journal because they're really bad cardstock, but I like the images and the messages. So I'm going to use them for some journaling stuff. And I'm going to cover this in something else, and we'll see how that project comes out. But this is the box that I'm going to keep the Revival Art tarot deck in. It came with just this little coupon for 10% off and this little booklet, little white book basically, which does not offer you any indication of where the art came from. It is just card meanings. And frankly, because of the size of the font and the font they chose to use, I really can't read it. Here, if you want to try. It's one of those all caps fonts, and it's very small, and I can't read it, so I don't use it. I don't really need it. So let's start going through the cards. Here we have the Fool, and our Fool is like he reminds me more of a court jester. And then we have the Magician. And one thing that kind of I thought was odd or strange when I first opened up the deck was noticing that these two guys are holding a very similar position. But obviously, it's unlikely that you'd pull them next to each other, although mimicking that position can be a tool that you use when you're reading the cards. So there's the Magician. We have the High Priestess. The Empress here, who is clearly got too many children. The Emperor. I like how he's sort of looking, he looks more like a religious figure and a military figure kind of at the same time. He's asking, you know, God for some sort of guidance. So he's looking outside of himself for strength and help, and I kind of like that aspect to the Emperor. And we have a very traditional Hierophant. The Lovers. And you can see up until this point, they've all shared a very similar color palette with dark backgrounds, but at the same time having light where it's important in the images. And then every now and then there'll be a card like the Chariot, it's an adorable card, but it's very light in comparison to the rest of the cards. Strength. The Hermit. I really like this Hermit. He's definitely in a cave and he's doing some studying. The Wheel. I've seen spinning wheels used as the wheel before, but it's not my favorite. I do love just this Justice. That look on her face is just fabulous. This Hanged Man is... It's a sort of an old-fashioned, what I would consider an old-fashioned interpretation of the hangman as some sort of a criminal or someone who's being punished. But it could also, now that I think about it, the hangman in the Mythic Tarot is, oh, I cannot remember his name, but he was the guy who gave fire to humans, and he was continually punished over and over again. So I guess I can sort of see it now that I think through it. But the Spectators, that's kind of what gets me. This is very powerful. And here we have Death. And Death is being greeted like an angel. I kind of like that. It's really cool. Temperance. Nothing really special. I mean, it's a beautiful painting, but there's nothing really special there. The Devil, definitely some temptation, very traditional temptation scene. Tower. These are matte, very matte cardstock, and sometimes they're not the super matte where it actually grabs each other, but they don't come apart as easily. They probably will after I've used them more. Star. Sorry about the light. It's the best I can do. We've been sunny here for 3 weeks, and all of a sudden this afternoon it got cloudy. The sun, we do have a baby. He's not on a horse, but it shows a lot of joy. Judgment, very biblical. And the world. Yeah. Now we're starting into the wands. All of the aces are still lifes like this. And I'm going to pull them all out so we can see them all again later. The Two of Wands. And it's funny that the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands are cards that I know I have trouble telling what's the difference in the meaning. And this deck doesn't help with that. Four of Wands, most definitely a celebration. The Five of Wands is children trying to annoy one another intentionally, which is kind of funny. Six of Wands. I am very pleased with the artwork in this deck. The images are fabulous. There is no blurriness or pixelation or anything like that. I really feel that you're seeing what the artist who painted the painting intended for you to see in the painting, even though it's probably been cropped by the creators. That Seven of Wands is, I know that's a biblical story, I just can't put my finger on it. This Eight of Wands, nah. I love the Nine of Wands. The battle-weary soldier. He's probably a general or something. And then the Ten of Wands. And not only is she carrying a big bundle, but she's got a goat who wants her attention, and she's carrying a little baby goat. Then we have the Page, and the pages are all children. I'm going to pull them out too. The Knights are all on horseback. The Queens are portraits of rich, influential women. And the Kings are portraits of rich, influential men. Now here's the Ace of Cups. Two of Cups. I like this Four of Cups. It implies a disinterestedness that comes with age. That as we get old, we do lose interest in things. And sometimes it takes a child to renew that interest. Five of Cups. Six of Cups. This Seven of Cups. You want to hear something funny? This Seven of Cups, I can see this. This is a maiden who's been yearning for a man and is confused, shall we say, about this being a real man, because this is not a real man. But here, the next video I'm going to make is a review of the Voice of the Ocean Tarot. And if we go to the Emperor card in the Voice of the Ocean Tarot, it's the same painting. So that's a really good comparison of two different decks using the same piece of artwork. I think it works better for the Seven of Cups than the Emperor, but you can kind of see the difference. In this deck, it is more highly saturated in color, and in this deck they've made the decision to tone down the colors a bit. Or maybe in this one they turn them up. I'm not sure, because there's all sorts of things you can do with photo editing software. But there you go. There's a comparison of two different versions of the same painting in two different decks. Eight of Cups. I really like that Eight of Cups. Somebody leaving home. You know, he knows he's got to go. He knows it's the right thing to do. He knows it's time, but it's very hard. Nine of Cups. Very good. And the Ten of Cups. Page of Cups. Knight of Cups. Queen of Cups, who I think is absolutely gorgeous. She's just beautiful. And the King of Cups. Here we have the Ace of Swords. This Two of Swords is kind of interesting. It speaks to me of having two different options, not knowing which one to take, and having more like a devil and an angel on your shoulder trying to tell you which one's the right one. Three of Swords. Four of Swords. One of my favorite Five of Swords ever, Gossip. Six of Swords. Seven of Swords. A really great Eight of Swords. And this Nine of Swords it speaks to me more of being wearied and drawn down by your troubles than the sort of anxiety and nightmares that I normally see. And this Ten of Swords, it is most definitely over because he's already in the coffin. Page of Swords. Here's our Knight of Swords. Here's our Queen of Swords, who I absolutely love. She is clearly Victorian based on the clothes and the hairdo, and she's in mourning because she would not have worn black unless she was in mourning. And I think that's perfect for the Queen of Swords. And then the King of Swords. And we have the Ace of Coins. The Two of Coins. Three. Really good. Perfect Four of Coins. Can be read either way, as being a miser or being someone who's very frugal. Six of Coins. Seven of Coins. No, excuse me, that's Five of Coins. Coins, yeah, Five of Coins. Six of Coins. Didn't think that picture made sense for the seven. This one makes sense for the seven. Eight of Coins, lovely shoemaker. Nine of Coins. And a 10. We have the Page of Coins. Knight of Coins. Queen. And the King. And here we have all of our pages. They are all little boys. Very interesting. The Page of Swords is giving commands and training a dog. The Page of Wands is a creative soul. He's a musician. The Page of Coins is studying and reading a book. And the Page of Cups is delivering flowers. That's what I see him doing anyway. And here are our knights, who are all on prancing horses, and only one of them is facing to the right. The rest are facing to the left. And this one page of the Knight of Coins, it almost looks like he's a unicorn because he's got something stuck past his head there. And here we have all of our lovely queens. And here are all our kings. And interestingly enough, most of them are doing something. Like this king is working on the King of Cups. I can't tell what he's working on, but blueprint maybe? The King of Swords is definitely writing letters. The King of Coins is reading a book. The King of Wands, he's just looking impressive. Yeah. And now we're going to give them a shuffle. They are bigger than a standard tarot size. This is standard tarot size. So you can see they are, you know, a good 1/2 inch wider and a 1/2 inch taller. So they're considerably larger, which makes it easier to see the art, but will make it difficult for some people to shuffle. I fortunately have very large hands, so I can still handle these. I say that, and now I'm going to spill them all over the place. I do love this cardstock. It riffle shuffles beautifully, and you see how marvelous it just, you know, I bent it good and it's back to straight. Let's do a really quick reading. I'll do an overhand shuffle just to give you an idea of that. And let's see how these cards read. Now, of course, they'll read differently for you than they do for me, but let's do a what do we need to know, show, and grow as we go through our week this week. Know, show, and grow. Ace of Coins, Three of Coins, and the Two of Wands. So we need to know that we have the resources that we need to get through the week. They're going to be there. We've got them coming to us. We're probably going to have to show that we are willing to work for the resources that we have coming to us. And we're going to be willing to collaborate with others to obtain those resources. And we still have some more plans to make. So while we're making progress and we've got the resources that we need, we still have some plans to make to keep moving forward towards the future. So that's my very brief interpretation of these three cards as a no-show grow. No show grow. No show grow. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and have a fabulous day.